All right, Shalom Makyam. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakak Badash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. We are the Hebrew Israelites, which consist of the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, West Indians, and Haitians. And according to the Holy Scriptures, we're God's chosen people. Shalom to all the brothers out there pushing his knowledge and sincerity and truth. Shalom to the few sisters. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners who are scattered abroad, looking like the other nations. And what you're looking at is a true depiction of the one we call Jesus Christ, whose real name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shai, and the Heavenly Father's name is Yahweh, the one we call God or Jehovah. They are so-called black men, according to the scriptures. All right, Rakate Yahweh, Rakate Yahweh Shai, Rakate Yahweh, Rakate Yahweh Shai, Wadi Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, for giving me the inspiration to continue in this faith and, to do this show. Coming back at you with another lesson. It's going to be based upon the gold rush. The 49ers. Everybody was watching the Super Bowl this weekend, and the 49ers lost all through the spirit. But guess what? There's some deep history behind the 49ers. This is based upon the California gold rush that happened in the 1800s, the mid 1800s, where gold was discovered over here on the West Coast. Esau came over here, you know what I'm saying? And they all got rich off of gold. In the midst of that, they slaughtered the Native Americans that was over here and the so-called Mexicans that was over here, and took the land from them and got rich off this gold. You understand what I'm saying? So Esau be mocking the masses with their teams and mascots and things of that nature, not knowing there's some deep dark history behind this thing. But guess what? The Golden City, Isaiah the 14th chapter, which is aka Babylon, is in the scriptures, man. And I'm gonna get into that. So I'm gonna give you some brief history on the California gold rush. And Lord willing, is an edifying lesson unto the very elect. So the discovery of the gold nuggets in Sacramento Valley in early 1848 sparked the California gold rush, arguably one of the most significant events to shape American history during the first half of the 19th century. As news spread of the discovery, thousands of prospective gold miners traveled by sea or over land to San Francisco and the surrounding area. By the end of 1849, the non-native population of California territory was some 100,000 compared to the pre-1848 figure of less than 1,000. A total of $2 billion worth of precious metals was extracted from the area during the gold rush, which peaked in 1852. You see, because prior to the so-called white man coming over here into this land, the so-called Native Americans and the so-called Mexicans were living in this land already, man. So the whole earth has been given into the Israelites. So pretty much Esau stole our gold, man, which is all recorded in the scriptures. On January 24th, 1848, James Wilson Marshall, a carpenter originally from New Jersey, found flakes of gold in the American River at the base of the Sierra Nevada mountains near Coloma, California. At the time, Marshall was working to build a water power sawmill owned by John Sutter, a German-born Swiss citizen and the founder of a colony of Nueva Helvetia, New Switzerland. The colony would become the city of Sacramento. As Marshall later recalled of his historic discovery, "It made my heart thump, for I was certain it was gold." Says, "Did you know the miners extracted more than 750,000 pounds of gold during the gold rush?" All right. Days after Marshall's discovery at Sutter Mill, the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo was signed, ending the Mexican-American War and leaving California in the hands of the United States. At the time, the population of the territory consists of 6,500 Californios people of Spanish or Mexican descent, which was way more than that, you know. 700 foreigners, primarily Americans, and 750,000 Native Americans, barely half the number that had been there when Spanish settlers arrived in 1769. So they they were massacring a Native brothers and sisters, man, during the 1600s on down, man. So I'm gonna read this last paragraph, and I'm gonna get into the 49ers. It says, through Marshall and Sutter tried to keep news of discovery under wraps, the word got out, and by the mid-March, at least one newspaper was reporting that large quantity of gold was being turned up at Sutter's mill. Though the initial reaction in San Francisco was disbelief, storekeeper Sam Brennan set off a frenzy when he paraded through town displaying a vial of gold obtained from Sutter's Creek. By mid-June, some 3/4 of male population of San Francisco had left town for the gold mines, and the number of miners in the area reached 4,000 by August. I'm going to read this last paragraph. It says, as news spread of the fortunes being made in California, some of the first migrants to arrive were those from lands accessible by boat, such as Oregon, Sandwich Island, now Hawaii, Mexico, Chile, and Peru, and China. These were all, because our people got conquered in those nations, man, in those places. So I had to been Esau and Moab. When the news reached the East Coast, press reporters were initially skeptical. Gold fever kicked off there in earnest. However, after December 1848, man, I could be wrong. They probably brought in some of the native tribes to work on the gold mine as well. So I could be wrong, When President James K. Polk announced the positive result of a report made by Colonel Richard Mason, California military governor, in his inaugural address, as Polk wrote, the accounts of abundance of gold are of such an extraordinary character as would scarcely command belief were they not corroborated by authentic reports of officers in public service. So it goes into the 49ers came to California. Okay. It says the 49ers came to California. Through 1849, people around the United States, mostly men, borrowed money and mortgaged their property or spent their life savings to make an arduous journey to America in pursuit of the kind of wealth they had never dreamed of. They left their families and hometowns in turn. Women left behind took on new responsibilities as such, running farms or businesses and cared for their children alone. Thousands of would-be gold miners known as the 49ers traveled overland across the mountains or by sea, sailing to Panama or even around Cape Horn in the southernmost point of South America. By the end of the year, the non-native populations of California was estimated at 100,000 as compared to 20,000 at the end of 1848 and around 800 in March 1848. To accommodate the needs of the 49ers, gold mining towns had sprung up all over the region, complete with shops, saloons, and brothels, and other businesses seeking to make their own gold rush fortune. The overcrowded chaos of the mining camps and towns grew even more lawless, including rampant banditry, gambling, prostitution, and violence. San Francisco, for its parts, developed a bustling economy and became the central metropolis of a new frontier. So that's where the 49ers came from the gold rush. So in the midst of this discovery of gold, the natives of the land, they were enslaved and they were treated horribly. The enslavement Native Americans who made the gold rush possible. This is the tribe of Gad, the tribe of Issachar. Native Californians were treated abominable in the area where gold was first discovered. James Marshall didn't come to California to find gold, but then he noticed a glittering rock in the dirt while constructing a new mill for local landowner John Sutter. It was 1848, and Marshall's fate and that of California had just changed forever. The gold rush that followed changed the lives of California Native Americans too. Within years, they would be almost wiped out due to the massive immigration and hunger for wealth the gold rush inspired. So they were nearly wiped out. Fueled by greed and fear, the Anglo settlers who flocked to California declared war on the native Californians who had come before them. But 49ers weren't the first white people to oppress or even enslave Native Americans in California. The very land on which Marshall spotted the gold was part of the vast empire built on slave labor of the native people, man. It says, without Native Americans, John Sutter, owner of the mill where gold was discovered, an area most influential landowners would never have become so powerful. Sutter, a shrewd businessman, enslaved hundreds of thousands, man, of Native Americans and used them as a free source of labor, a makeshift militia with which he defended his territory. He also set the stage for their genocide. Look at this Edomite right here, man. So I'm going to pull up a map, a native map of California. All right, see what it shows, images. See what Native American tribe of Gad was over here. I can't really blow this up. See what this is. Yeah, here we go. So this is a map of California, man. These were all the native tribes that was living here, man. Tribe of Gad, tribe of Issachar. You see? And they got wiped out, man. Damn near got wiped out, you know? So this is facts, man. This all links up with the Bible. So pull these precepts and Lord willing is edifying lessons to the very elect. And Isaiah chapter 14, verse 4, it says, start at 3, and it shall come to pass in the day that Yahweh shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear and from the hard bondage where thou wast made to serve, man. And we about to receive that rest real soon. That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon. So what we saying, a proverb means a dark saying through these prophecies, man, through the scriptures. You know, you understand? And the king of Babylon is dealing with the people who controls different parts of this world, man. Dealing with elite banking families, the Rothschilds and Rockefellers. And then they got puppets as presidents and so on and so forth through these different regions that they control. And say, how had the oppressor cease? The golden city cease. See that? You understand? The Golden City. Where's the title for this? I had up top. California Gold Rush. Okay? So that links up, and then you go into the word golden. All right. There it is. The Golden City, it's exactness of gold. All right. Exactness. I'm gonna look up that word real quick. See, oh shit. See what it gives me. Pull up a new page. Quality of being accurate or correct, preciseness. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Supposed to be the extraction of gold. They came over here and took all the gold that was over here, man. You know? It says, "Thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how had the oppressors ceased, the golden city ceased." So the Lord is taking this place down strategically, slowly, but surely, man. Yahweh had broken the staff of the wicked and the scepters of the rulers. Who's the wicked? Who are the ones ruling this world right now? Esau, the so-called white race. He who smote the people in wrath, slavery, in a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger and is persecuted, and none hinder it. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. So once this man gets taken out of the way, taken down, the whole earth will be at rest and it will be quiet. No more wars, no more pestilence, no more death, none of this crazy shit, no more traffic. You know, the whole world is in chaos right now because of this damn devil, man. You know, but this is all part of the plan. All right, the Heavenly Father said, Revelation 18:5, "For her sins have reached unto heaven. The Most High remember her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works, and the cup which she had filled to her double." All right, and it goes down on it says 16, it says, saying, "Alas, alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen and purple and scarlet and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls. For in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught, and every shipmaster and all the company in ships and sailors, as many as trade by sea, stood afar off, and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, What city is like unto this great city?" Because this place is going to be destroyed. So John the Revelator already seen the destruction of this place because, you know, Esau came over here on the west side and took all the gold, all the precious stones and metals out of this place and out of the waters. That's why the waters, you know, these different rivers and all that, it's murky, full of algae. And you can't really drink out of it. Before the goddamn devil came over, you could drink out of any river, any freaking lake and things of that nature. Now you can't do that, man. You understand? Because this damn devil is greedy. He's backwards. He's a brute beast. All right, going back to Isaiah 14. All right. So it says the whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. So the whole entire planet will be at rest when the Heavenly Father take these damn devils out of the way. Yet the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, Since thou art laid down, no fellow is come up against us. Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirred up the dead from thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It had raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. All they shall speak and say unto thee, Art thou as become weak as we? Art thou become unto us? Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vows, the worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. Pretty much this place is being destroyed from the inside out. The worms and all that, dealing with the infrastructure of this place is at an all-time low. I think the grading of United States infrastructure is at D- or something like that. So these buildings, these roads and all that are breaking down. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? This is dealing with Esau. The word Lucifer means light bearer. How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? And how did Esau use America to weaken the nations through the military might and the draconian measures to send up the different invading these countries, what you call infiltrating the government, putting up puppet leaders and pretty much bribing their leaders to give, you know, the United States or elite banking families the wealth of that land, the oil and all that stuff, and corrupt the government through debt. You know, that's how they do it. For thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. So this is what Esau is doing right now. He's going up into space, but there's only so far he can go. You know, he got all these skyscrapers. He got his international space stations. And his main rulership is out here in the North America, man, over here in America. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. You know, you guys aircrafts out there. I will be like the Most High. He's trying to be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. The Lord is breaking you down strategically. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble? You see that? This Luciferian is a man. It means the light bearer. It's Esau. It's not dealing with Satan. Made the earth to tremble through their military might, through their covert operations, through their disease warfare, you know, through their propaganda, through their television, and did shake kingdoms through all the atomic bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. They that made the world as a wilderness, the world is in a wilderness, man. The world is being destroyed right now. The deforestation of trees, the pollution of the air, the pollution of the water, and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of the prisoners. And we're the prisoners here in this place. All the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, L-I-E, okay? Everyone in his own house. All right? But thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch, and as the remnant of those that are slain, thrust through with a sword, that go down to the stones of a pit, as a carcass trodden underfoot, that thou should not be joined with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land and slain thy people. The seed of evildoers shall never be renowned. Prepare slaughter for his children, for iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor oppress the land, nor fill the face of the world with their cities. So eventually, it's a long chapter, man. This is what is going to happen. The Heavenly Father is strategically breaking this place down to take out America, take down the so-called white race and their rulership over the whole planet with these other nations. But the point of this whole story is dealing with the point of this lesson is dealing with the 49ers, man. The Golden City. All right. It says verse 4 that it says, take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how hath the oppressor ceased, the golden city ceased. So this is a deep, dark, evil place, man. Dealing with the gold rush and the slaughter of the Native American Indians and the Mexican natives, man. The tribe of Gad, the tribe of Issachar out here. And the Heavenly Father is about to take revenge, man, upon this whole wicked rulership for the controversy of Zion. The Wadiyah Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Rakak Wadash, Brakate Yahweh, Brakate Yahushai, Shalom.